Have you ever checked your bank account at the end of the month and thought, I'm not less intelligent than others, so why is there never enough money left? Here's a truth no one really talks about. Rich people don't think harder, they think differently. And the real question of this video is this: what mental habits allow some people to keep building wealth while others keep running in place? Most of us live with the same quiet frustration. We work hard, we try, we learn, yet it feels like there's an invisible ceiling above us, something we can't quite break through. In psychology, this is known as a mental ceiling. Your mind decides what you deserve long before reality does. And this is where the real journey begins. One of the biggest differences between wealthy people and everyone else is how they see their own abilities. Wealthy people don't believe intelligence or talent is fixed. This belief is known in psychology as a growth mindset. When an average person experiences financial failure, they often say, I'm just not meant to be rich. But a wealth-oriented mind says, that was the cost of learning. What did this teach me? Behavioral science shows something surprising here. The brains of people with a growth mindset actually become more active after failure, not less. To them, failure isn't a loss. It's an investment. And here's the hopeful part. A growth mindset isn't genetic. It's not something you're born with or without. It's a habit. And habits can be trained. Another major difference shows up in how wealthy people deal with risk. Contrary to popular belief, rich people are not reckless gamblers. They don't blindly jump into danger. They practice calculated risk. In decision psychology, this is called risk-reward assessment. Most people either freeze and do nothing, or they go all in emotionally. But wealthy minds pause and ask better questions. What's the worst-case scenario? What's the best-case scenario? And what's the probability of each? The fear is still there, but the decision doesn't come from fear. It comes from analysis. The truth is, most people aren't afraid of failure itself. They're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of what others will say if things don't work out. And that fear quietly kills growth before it even starts. There's another habit that rarely gets talked about, but it might be one of the most important ones. Wealthy people understand that money follows attention. In cognitive science, attention is considered a limited resource. Wherever your attention goes, your energy and decisions follow. Think about everyday life. 2 hours of mindless scrolling doesn't just waste time. It drains focus, weakens decision-making, and exhausts the mind. Wealthy people are extremely selective about what they consume, who they listen to, and where they place their mental energy. Here's a small but powerful shock. Most highly successful people actually consume less information than others, but they do it far more intentionally. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know what to remove. When you look closely, most people fall into one of 3 financial mindsets. The first is a survival mindset, focused on fear, scarcity, and getting through today. The thought is always, I just need to make it through this month. The second is a security mindset, built around stability, safety, and low risk. Life feels okay, but growth is limited. The third is a wealth mindset, focused on long-term vision, learning, and building systems. The thought here is, I build now and I harvest later. None of these mindsets are inherently good or bad, but the outcomes they create are radically different. If you've lived in survival mode up until now, that's not your fault. Your environment, upbringing, and education shaped the way you think about money. But staying there forever is a choice. Wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your mental patterns, in the habits of wealthy people, in the psychology of money, and in the true wealth mindset. Everything begins with one simple question. Am I reacting to life or am I designing it? If this video made you question your relationship with money even once, that means you're already moving in the right direction. And if you want more content about wealth mindset, money psychology, and personal growth, consider subscribing, not for the algorithm but for yourself. And now I want to ask you one final question. Which mental habit do you think holds people back financially the most? I'm reading every comment.